Summer break did not last long for our Texas lawmakers. Even though they ended the 89th legislature in early June, Governor Greg Abbott is now calling for a special session for July. That announcement came after the governor vetoed a bill, which was kind of unexpected from some perspectives, that would ban products with THC. Our media partners at Texas Monthly are also following this big story. Tonight, we've got Forrest Wilder with us joining this discussion. Forrest, thank you so much for being with us. What could happen? Yeah, what could happen next? I've seen a lot of reaction on this. The veto, the lieutenant governor, Dan Patrick, saying he was surprised by that decision. And then he kind of accused the governor of wanting to legalize recreational marijuana. How important is that working relationship between the governor and the lieutenant governor? And do you think that relationship has been ruptured or changed in any way through this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knows what's going to happen. It's pretty unusual for the governor and the lieutenant governor to get crosswise like this. Right now, it seems like their two positions are irreconcilable. Dan Patrick said he is dead set against nothing short of a total ban on THC products, which is what the legislature did pass and the governor vetoed. And the governor has asked the legislature during the special session to come up with something that he believes will pass legal muster and that will address some of the issues that I think a lot of people understand across the spectrum are a problem. For example, there are no restrictions, age limits, or age restrictions on buying these very potent products. So he essentially wants regulation of these hemp-based THC products, and it's unclear what the legislature can do in terms of a compromise. Now, I will say that the Texas House had looked at legislation that was a much more middle-of-the-road kind of option that people in the cannabis industry were more or less okay with. A lot of the advocates are concerned about public health, or people that believe these cannabis products provide, medicinal purposes, thought was a good blueprint. So they could go back to that, in the House, but the Senate is a completely different animal. Dan Patrick has near total control over that body. And if he doesn't want that, then it's not going to pass.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see what comes out of it. I know this is the big headlining story from the special session, but is there anything else that could be talked about besides SB 3?
During the special session, there are a number of other bills that the governor vetoed and asked the legislature to take another look at. None of them have the kind of marquee billing that THC ban does. But for example, there's a bill that would have paused permits on cement kilns near semiconductor manufacturing facilities. It sounds kind of weird or obscure, but this is a live issue in near Sherman, where there's a cement kiln that's proposed that the locals really do not want, in part because folks are concerned that it might disrupt operations at a semiconductor facility. So Abbott vetoed it, said take another look at it. So we'll see what the legislature does there.
Yeah, a lot of people probably don't even know about. Anything in particular you're watching this special session?
Well, I think the big other question beyond what are they going to do with THC is whether Abbott is going to call them back for another special session, or add to this special session to do redistricting. President Trump basically wants the Republican-led legislature to redo the maps for congressional seats to try to squeeze a few more congressional seats out of the map that Republicans may have a shot at winning. But Abbott hasn't really indicated what he's going to do there, and ultimately it is up to him whether they take up that issue or not.
Never a boring day in politics. Forrest Wilder, thank you so much for being with us tonight. By the way, you can read his coverage right now on TexasMonthly.com.